Hiro Onoda, the last samurai of World War II. A shadow in the jungle, a ghost from the past. Hiro Onoda, a name that evokes tenacity, obedience, and obsession. Discover the incredible story of a Japanese soldier who refused to surrender for nearly 3 decades after the end of World War II. A journey into the heart of faith, discipline, and tragedy. If you also love discovering hidden truths, forgotten stories, and events that changed the world without anyone knowing, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Every week, a new revelation awaits you. Hiro Onoda, born March 19, 1922, was no ordinary soldier. Raised in a militaristic Japan, imbued with ideals of honor and sacrifice, Onoda embodied the spirit of Bushido, the code of the samurai. Having joined the Imperial Army, he was trained as an intelligence officer, a role that required wit, endurance, and an unshakable faith in the emperor. His mission was clear: to serve Japan at any cost. In 1944, Onoda was sent to Lubang Island, in the Philippines. The order was peremptory: hinder the enemy advance by any means, never surrender, never take his own life. Words that would seal his destiny. August 1945. The world celebrates the end of World War II. But for Onoda and his companions, hiding in the jungles of Lubang, the war was not over. Leaflets, newspapers, proclamations, all branded as enemy propaganda. Their unshakable faith in the emperor and the order not to surrender had created an impenetrable barrier to reality. The jungle became their fortress, guerrilla warfare their reason for living. Cut off from the world, Onoda and his men continued to fight a war that no longer existed, trapped in a time loop of obedience and illusion. For nearly 30 years, Onoda lived like a ghost in the jungle. Years of hardship, danger, and a constant struggle for survival. The jungle had become his home, his prison, his battlefield. One of his comrades surrendered in 1950, revealing the existence of these forgotten soldiers to the world. The other 2 died, one in 1954 and the other in 1972, in gun battles with Philippine security forces. Onoda remained alone, but his determination did not waver. Faith in the emperor and the order not to surrender were engraved in his heart like an inviolable dogma. In 1974, a young Japanese explorer named Norio Suzuki, driven by an unusual curiosity and a desire for adventure, ventured into the Lubang jungle. His goal? To find Onoda, a giant panda, and the Himalayan monster, in that order. Against all odds, Suzuki found Onoda. He tried to convince him that the war was over, that Japan had surrendered. But Onoda remained adamant: he would not surrender without a direct order from his superior. Suzuki returned to Japan and tracked down Onoda's former commander, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, now retired and a bookseller. An incredible plan took shape. What do you think so far? Leave a like on the video and a comment with your theory according to this topic. And if you want to continue this journey into the secrets of history and little-known facts, click on subscribe. Taniguchi flew to Lubang. In uniform, he stood before Onoda. In a firm voice, he read the order: in accordance with the imperial order, all combat operations have ceased. Onoda, relieved of his duties. After nearly 30 years, the order that had guided his life had been revoked. Onoda laid down his rifle, his sword, his worn uniform. The war was finally over. Onoda's surrender was a worldwide media event. A symbol of tenacity, obedience, and the tragic absurdity of war. Onoda's return to Japan was met with a wave of mixed emotions. To many, he was a hero, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. To others, he was an anachronism, a relic of a militaristic past that Japan was trying to forget. During his years of solitary confinement, Onoda and his companions had killed about 30 Filipino civilians, mistaking them for enemies. Despite this, he was pardoned for his actions, considered a victim of circumstances. Onoda wrote an autobiography, No Surrender, My 30-Year War, which became an international bestseller. He moved to Brazil to raise cattle, but eventually returned to Japan, where he founded a youth survival camp. Hiro Onoda died on January 16, 2014, at the age of 91. His story remains an enigma, a paradox, a warning. Was he a hero or a war criminal? A symbol of loyalty or blind obedience? The answer, perhaps, depends on the point of view. Before we get to the finale, remember to join our community of true story and hidden historical facts enthusiasts. Sign up, activate the bell, and discover something that no one has ever told you every week. Onoda's story invites us to reflect on the dangers of ideology, the fragility of perception, and the need to question authority. It reminds us that war, in all its forms, is a tragedy that leaves deep scars, not only on bodies, but also on minds and souls. Her story is a powerful reminder of how unshakable faith, if not tempered with reason and compassion, can lead to devastating consequences. A warning to future generations to never forget the horrors of the past. Onoda's story is not only the story of a Japanese soldier, but also the story of a people who suffered the consequences of war, occupation, violence. A story that deserves to be told, listened to, remembered. The documentary will not offer definitive answers, but it will raise questions, stimulate debate, and invite reflection. We will leave the public free to form their own opinions, to draw their own conclusions. Onoda's story is complex, ambiguous, controversial. There are no heroes or villains, only men and women who acted according to their beliefs, their values, their circumstances. If Hiro Onoda's story has fascinated you and made you think, we invite you to take a step further. Subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends who are passionate about history. Leave a comment below with your impressions and questions. Your contribution is essential to building a more aware future.